What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Everything Wrestling. Today, we are focusing on Saturday night's main event and going back to revisit some of those big moments that you remember from the mid 80s that I think is what got a lot of us hooked on to Saturday night's main event. So sit back, relax, and let us take you down Nostalgia Road. So let's go back to January 3rd, 1987. And on this episode, it featured the Junkyard Dog beginning his run with Harley Race and the whole King angle and that type of thing. And then you also had um Ricky the Drive George the Animal Steel beginning his run with Macho, which would eventually turn into will go down the road with the Steamboat Macho matches, which, as we remember, WrestleMania 3, one of the best matches there was. But the main one that we want to focus on is the cage match between Hulk Hogan and Mr. Wonderful. Now, as you know, pretty much the controversy surrounding this match was the fact that both of them landed at the same time. So it's always been the issue of Mr. Wonderful landed first, Hogan landed first, but we tried to capture this in this photo. As you can see, we got Hogan and Orndorff almost basically in the same position, coming down at the same time. And if you see on the side where Orndorff is, we got a referee who pretty much is going to call it from his way. And then we got our referee on Hogan's side who was pretty much going to call it his way. So we tried to recreate it as best as we could. I think we did a pretty good job with that. All right, the next one up is March 14th, 1987. As you can see, our buddy Bud Lightyear is capturing the part where George Ammer still pretty much had his run with Macho Man, and they basically had it going to the Ricky Steamboat Macho Man rivalry. Uh, as he's showing in this picture, this is when George came out to save, in his eyes, Miss Elizabeth from Macho Man. Remember, George had that obsession with Miss Elizabeth, which drove Macho Man up the wall. But Steamboat was always looking out for uh, George when it came to Macho Man. But during that time or that episode, we saw basically them starting to build up to the WrestleMania 3 storyline, because we also would see that 20-man battle royal, which was the first time that we seen Hogan and Andre square off also. All right, we're skipping all the way to October 3rd, 1987. And at this time, Macho Man is now in a rivalry with Honky Tonk Man for the Intercontinental title. And pretty much, if you remember this, during that time, there was a controversy because this is where Honky Tonk pushes Miss Elizabeth down. And pretty much, when he pushed her, because she pushed her down to keep Honky Tonk from smashing Macho in the head, and he pushed him away, and then of course smashes Macho. Now, as you can see in the picture, we are recapturing the point where Honky laid Macho out with the guitar. So as you can see in the picture, we have the Heart Foundation holding up Macho Man, and we got Honky Tonk blasting the Macho Man with the guitar. And remember, during this time, this is when Jimmy Hart stable, you had Honky Tonk, you had the Hart Foundation, that whole thing. So, all right, so now it's January 2nd, 1988, and pretty much this is right after, not too, I guess, WrestleMania. We just getting over the aftermath of WrestleMania 3, and Hogan and Andre still are having their feud because Andre held claim to the fact that he did beat Hogan when Hogan tried to slam him, and he fell on him, and Andre was saying it was a 3 count and that whole thing. So now we're continuing that um with their little rivalry, and Andre made an appearance on Sunday main event and basically went to choke Hogan out because he said he still could beat him. Now keep in mind, this is when they're starting to build up that storyline for the twin refs. So Andre, as you see in the picture, we have Andre coming in the ring, choking Hogan, and you see all the various wrestlers trying to pull Andre off. So we have the British Bulldogs, and we have Strike Force, Rick Martel and Tito Santana trying to pull him off. And now we're going to February 5th, 1988. And this has to be considered one of the most controversial moments in wrestling and on Saturday night's main event. This was the time where Andre would beat Hogan due to the twin refs getting paid off. So pretty much, if you don't know the storyline, um, Dave and Earl Hebner was involved in the match, and I think Earl was the one that was paid. It was basically one ref was swapped out, so it was supposed to be Dave in the match, but Earl was actually in the match. Earl was paid off, and this was the first time that we knew that Dave had a twin. Earl was paid off, and he made the bogus 3 count, which made Andre the champion. Now, come around this time, Andre Ted DiBiase would then buy the belt off of him because remember, DiBiase said he didn't have to win it. He could just buy it because everybody had a price. So he bought the belt off of Andre, but later on, as you know, Jack Tunney basically declared that the championship was vacant and that they would do the tournament, which later on you find out Macho Man would win that tournament and become world champion. But as you can see in our picture, the first one on the left, we have Andre with the belt, DiBiase getting prepared to get the belt, and then our picture on the right, Andre passes the belt over to DiBiase, and now DiBiase is champion. Now, in the record books, it's never obviously declared that DiBiase was the world champion, but I think it is declared that Andre was the world champion. And our final one for this particular episode, um, March 12th, 1988. And at this Saturday night's main event, it will be King Harley Race against Hulk Hogan. And this actually would be what would cause Harley Race to retire from wrestling because Harley Race, before using the use of tables became popular in wrestling, Harley Race attempted to do a headbutt on the table, and obviously Hogan moved, and I think either Harley hit it wrong or he landed wrong, but pretty much that would be the end of Harley's career. So Hogan ended up winning that match, but yeah, that would pretty much be the last of Harley Race and his tenure as king and that whole thing. So pretty much, as you can see in the picture, we have Harley Race getting ready to go. We're basically catching the motion of Harley Race going into the headbutt as Hulk Hogan is in the process of moving. So, hopefully you have enjoyed this walk down memory lane. Stay tuned as we do have some more Saturday night's main event coming along. Because of course, we got to get to the Mega Power split and that whole thing. We have some other specials. If you haven't checked them out, check out our Monday Night Raw series. We have Monday Nitro series. Check out some of our photography. And of course, if you haven't subscribe to the page, make sure you subscribe to the page so that you receive notifications whenever we upload anything new. And stay tuned. We have a lot more coming down the hatch, and we appreciate all the support that we have been given. Uh, until next time, y'all stay blessed out there, and I will catch you on the next go around.